The moment she saw him standing in the rain, holding his daughter's tiny hand, something inside Eliza Winters shifted. After years of building walls around her heart, could one honest question from a stranger finally break through? If you've ever wondered whether success and love can truly coexist, this story might just change your perspective. Like, subscribe, and join me on this emotional journey that proves sometimes the most unexpected questions lead to the most beautiful answers. Eliza Winters stared at the spreadsheet on her laptop, the numbers blurring before her eyes as rain pelted against the floor-to-ceiling windows of her corner office. At 36, she had everything she'd ever worked for: CEO of Winters Innovation, a tech company valued at over $2 billion, a penthouse overlooking the city skyline, and a reputation as one of the most formidable businesswomen in the country. What she didn't have was someone to go home to. Not that she hadn't had opportunities. Men approached her constantly, at charity galas, industry conferences, even through LinkedIn messages. Some were genuinely interested, others clearly after her money or status. She'd turned them all down, one after another, until rejecting suitors became as routine as her morning coffee. "Ms. Winters?" Her assistant's voice came through the intercom. "Your 5 o'clock is here." Eliza sighed, closing her laptop. This meeting wasn't on her calendar, but her board had insisted she take it, something about a small design firm with revolutionary ideas that could complement their latest project. "Send them in," she said, straightening her tailored blazer. The door opened, and Eliza's carefully constructed composure faltered. A man in his late 30s stood there, his navy suit slightly damp from the rain. But what caught her attention was the little girl beside him, no more than 6 years old, with curly hair and bright eyes that darted curiously around the office. "I'm so sorry," the man said immediately. "The babysitter cancelled last minute, and I couldn't." "It's fine," Eliza said, surprising herself with the softness in her voice. "I wasn't expecting a child, but we can make it work." "I'm Noah Bennett," he said, extending his hand. "And this is my daughter, Lily." "Hi," the little girl said shyly, clutching a worn sketchbook to her chest. Something about the pair made Eliza feel off balance. Noah wasn't what she expected, no slick corporate demeanor, just honest eyes and a gentle way he guided his daughter to a chair. "Lily, why don't you draw something while Daddy talks business?" He handed her some colored pencils from his briefcase. The meeting proceeded, with Noah presenting his firm's innovative approach to sustainable design. He was brilliant, articulate, and refreshingly straightforward. No corporate jargon, no excessive flattery. Just pure passion for his work. "The truth is, Ms. Winters," he said toward the end, "we're small, but what we lack in size, we make up for in innovation. I believe a partnership with Winters Innovation could transform both our companies." Eliza found herself nodding. "Your proposals are impressive, Mr. Bennett. I'd like to discuss this further." "Daddy, look!" Lily interrupted, holding up her sketchbook. "I drew the ladies' building, but I made it with trees growing out of it." Noah looked embarrassed, but Eliza leaned forward, genuinely intrigued by the child's drawing. It was surprisingly sophisticated, a fantastical version of the Winters Innovation headquarters with gardens cascading down its sides. "That's actually brilliant," Eliza said, looking from the drawing to Lily's proud face. "We've been discussing green integration for our next headquarters renovation." "She gets her creativity from her mother," Noah said softly, a shadow crossing his face. "Is she an artist?" Eliza asked. A moment of silence hung in the air. "She was. Cancer, 3 years ago." The simple statement hit Eliza like a physical blow. "I'm sorry," she said, meaning it. After they left, Eliza couldn't focus on work. Something about Noah Bennett and his daughter had gotten under her skin. It wasn't just attraction, though she couldn't deny he was handsome in an understated way. It was something else, something she couldn't quite name. Against her better judgment, she called Noah the next day and invited him to discuss the partnership over dinner. "You can bring Lily," she added, surprising herself again. That dinner changed everything. Away from the office, Noah was even more engaging. He spoke about his work with genuine enthusiasm, but also listened intently when Eliza talked about hers. Lily charmed her with questions about what it was like to be the boss of everything. Not everything, Eliza laughed. Just one company. But you tell everyone what to do? Lily persisted. I guide them, Eliza corrected gently. A good leader doesn't just give orders. Noah smiled at her across the table. That's what I always tell her. Leadership is about lifting others up, not standing on top of them. Their eyes met, and Eliza felt a flutter in her chest she hadn't experienced in years. Over the next few weeks, business meetings evolved into something more personal. Eliza found herself looking forward to seeing Noah and Lily, making excuses to schedule additional consultations. She joined them for ice cream in the park, helped Lily build a science project, stayed for dinner at their modest but warm apartment. For the first time in her adult life, Eliza began to question the walls she'd built around herself. Her assistant noticed the change, commenting that she seemed lighter, somehow. Even her board members remarked on her more approachable demeanor in meetings. But old habits die hard. As she grew closer to Noah and Lily, fear crept in. What if this was just another man seeing her as a prize to be won? What if she opened her heart only to discover he wanted her connections, her influence, her money? One rainy evening, similar to the day they'd first met, Noah invited her to Lily's school play. Sitting in the audience, watching Lily perform while Noah beamed with pride beside her, Eliza felt like she belonged with them. The feeling terrified her. After the play, as they walked to her car, Eliza made a decision. Noah, I think we should keep our relationship strictly professional from now on. He stopped walking, rain soaking through his jacket. What? Why? This is becoming complicated. The partnership between our companies is going well, but anything personal between us is inadvisable. Noah studied her face. Is that really what you want, or are you scared? I'm not scared, she said defensively. I'm being practical. Men have always wanted me for what I represent, not who I am. Is that what you think of me? His voice was quiet, hurt evident in his eyes. I don't know what to think, she admitted. All I know is that every relationship I've had has ended with someone wanting something from me. Noah was silent for a long moment, rain dripping from his hair. Finally, he asked a question that would change everything. Eliza, do you want a husband, or just shelter? The words hit her like a thunderbolt. What? You've built these walls around yourself, this empire, this persona. They protect you, but they also isolate you. Are you looking for someone to share your life with, or just another layer of protection? Eliza stood speechless, rain mingling with unexpected tears. Because I don't want your money or your connections, Noah continued. I was doing fine before I met you, and I'll be fine if you walk away now. What I want is the woman who sits on my living room floor helping my daughter with her homework. The woman who laughs at my terrible jokes and challenges my ideas and makes me see the world differently. It's not that simple, Eliza whispered. It can be, he said. But only if you're brave enough to want more than shelter. He turned and walked away, leaving Eliza standing alone in the rain, his words echoing in her mind. For days, she threw herself into work, trying to forget Noah's question. But it haunted her, forcing her to examine the carefully constructed fortress of her life. Had she been hiding all these years? Using her success as an excuse to avoid vulnerability? Late one night, sitting alone in her penthouse, Eliza pulled out a photo Lily had given her, a crayon drawing of 3 figures holding hands, a tall woman in a business suit, a man, and a little girl. My family, Lily had written across the top. Something broke open inside Eliza. All her life, she'd equated vulnerability with weakness. But maybe the bravest thing wasn't building walls, it was having the courage to live without them. The next morning, she cancelled all her meetings and drove to Noah's design firm. Heart pounding, she walked past the receptionist's startled face and straight into his office. Noah looked up, surprise evident in his eyes. "Eliza? I want a husband," she said without preamble. "Not shelter. I've had enough shelter to last a lifetime." A slow smile spread across his face. "That's good to know." "I'm scared," she admitted. "I don't know how to do this. How to be vulnerable. How to be part of a family." Noah stood and walked around his desk. "Nobody does, not really. We just figure it out together, day by day." "And Lily? Asks about you every day. She misses her friend." Tears filled Eliza's eyes. "I miss her too. I miss both of you." Noah took her hands in his. "Then come home with me. Not to my apartment, I mean home, wherever that turns out to be for us." 6 months later, Eliza stood in the backyard of a house they'd bought together, not as grand as her penthouse but filled with more warmth and life than any place she'd ever lived. Lily was chasing their new puppy across the lawn while Noah grilled dinner. Her phone buzzed with work emails, but for once, they could wait. She'd learned to delegate, to trust her team, to understand that being CEO didn't mean doing everything herself. Surprisingly, the company was thriving under her more balanced leadership. Noah caught her watching them and smiled, that same smile that had first cracked the foundation of her walls. He walked over and wrapped an arm around her waist. "Any regrets?" he asked. Eliza leaned into him, watching Lily's joyful play. "Only that I almost let fear cost me this. Mom. Dad. Look what Max can do." Lily called out, the word "Mom" still new and precious on her lips. As they walked hand in hand toward the little girl who had helped heal both their hearts, Eliza realized that true success wasn't measured in billion-dollar valuations or corner offices. It was found in the courage to answer an unexpected question honestly, to choose love over fear, connection over isolation. Sometimes the strongest people aren't those who stand alone, but those brave enough to stand with others. If this story touched your heart, please hit that like button and subscribe for more content that explores the complex journey of finding love and family in unexpected places. Remember, sometimes the questions that challenge us most lead to the answers we need most deeply. Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let me know what other stories you'd like to hear next time.